Hey, welcome into Flying with Mike. Welcome aboard. Sorry, was working on something. Notice didn't get changed, and that was on me. But we are flying today for Millennium Aviation Company, and we're doing one of their tours. I've done a couple of them. A lot of them GA up in Alaska, first couple of years with Flying with Mike. Now we're the other end of the world, Africa. We're on part two of a three-part series they have. Leg number 6 about to begin here in Kutako International Airport in Namibia. Sorry, I was about to say Nairobi. Whew, way off course. Namibia. And we're headed to Luanda International in Angola. So flying the Toliss A320, I was kind of hoping to get it in the CF or the uh, CO version, but you know what? We haven't flown the Neo enough, so let's bring the Neo out. What the heck? So, I hope you enjoy this flight. It's about a 3-hour flight. I figured out where I made my goof. Okay, there it is. So, if you were hoping to see the IAE engines, I'm sorry. We're flying the Neo. So I noticed the email notification. I knew I had done it somewhere, but I couldn't remember where to change it. So, but anyway, there she is sitting on the line. Let's get up in the cockpit and get this show on the road. Yeah, no, from here you wouldn't be able to tell. Did he really screw up? Nope. You couldn't tell. Airbus is Airbus. Kind of that little simplicity they put to their cockpits. You pretty much train in one Airbus, it works for the rest of them. So it's a kind of a neat thing, makes it a little easier transitioning airframes, but there's still a whole lot more to it than just the cockpit. All right, so let's bring Toolkit in here and get this underway. Where are you? There you are. And for those of us here in the U.S., good morning. It's brr outside for most of us. At least east of the Rockies, sort of, kind of. This big cold wedge came down in a wedge. So, wow. 4 to 6 inches in Ohio, and talking the word, but it's not really. That's, one thing about meteorology. If it's not a nor'easter, don't call it that. Why would you do that? So, oh well, they don't ask me. I know, so they get ratings. I get it. Yep. Oh, and I needed to change something. Oh well. All right, well, hey, those of you in Europe, enjoy. You don't get to see this very often. Yeah, we're in, oh, I know why we're in kilograms. Okay. My bad, didn't change that either. I know exactly where I screwed that up too. But we are going to fly with 18,892 pounds. Sorry, guys. Block fuel. And these are kind of in the neighborhood deals of 19,150 pounds. Will be more than that. 102 peeps aboard, and there's the route, and planning a 2-6 departure, landing 2-3 at our destination. Cost index 30 at flight level 3 is 80. Weather here in Namibia, nothing significant. This is kind of trivial. I will explain, but this gives you what it is right now. Okay, I hope you all got a good look, because it is dark in Namibia right now, and I've rolled the clock back about 12 hours. So the weather is 12 hours in the future. So unfortunately, we won't be able to use this, but it's a good guide. Out of the south at 5 here in Namibia, and again, out of the southish over in Angola. So really nothing to really concern ourselves with. So hopefully we'll have a really good flight for you. We're on VATSIM already, so you know, if you want to join in, hey, there's plenty of room on this ramp. Actually, I thought I heard somebody. Nope. Heard nothing. All right. Well, let's get in here and do our thing. Hang on a second. 1022. Okay. But yeah, feel free to join us. We love having people along. All right. Got that set, even though it may not be. Oh, you know, we can always check. Let's see. Zoom her down. All right, currently the winds here are out of the southeast, 140, 8 knots, visibility more than 10 miles, a clear sky, 18 temperature, and QNH 1023. All right, we'll make that adjustment. All right, and with that, real quick, let me do my initial here. All right, coming on down, click, click, I say click, 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 and click. All right, quick checks. I know y'all love that sound. Just for fun. Ha, you didn't think I'd do it. All right, real quick on the light bulbs. Everything appears to be working here and here and here. All right, one last look. And then let's go to it. All right, what I'm going to start with, let's start here. I'm going to go ahead, kick away the caterers. We'll watch. Some great, you know, they have some pretty good animation. Okay, this is the easy, but where the fine, you know, they really did detail this. Look at the levels underneath coming up. I mean, that's pretty good. Unfortunately for X-Plane, the AI vehicle traffic doesn't avoid aircraft. As you saw, it hit our nose. Oh, well. Yeah, we caught you. All right, so let's get to work now. Let's get back down here. Mechanical page. Again, these are pages you can actually control right here. Okay, so we said our fuel for today's flight is, we are in kilograms. I have to go in and change that. Okay. Bear with me. We said 19,150 pounds. Just make sure, since we're doing this differently, 19,150, 19,400, that'll work. Next page. Let's go ahead and load it and see how it works out. Okay, the front and back are open. Go to the next page. We said 102 peeps. Okay, now let's head over here. Weight and balance. What here is the electronic flight bag. Sits either side of the pilots. Okay, 120. Oh, that makes it so hard. Whoa. 113,359. Okay, let me we got the right fuel, 19.4. All right, somewhere. Just trying to make it a little easier on myself. Fuel. That's good. That's good. All right, I'm going to keep it the way I like it. Sorry, folks. All right. Well, we're going to go with it. How about that? Hang on, I'm going to get one thing set. All right, and down, up, and thrust levers work. That's all good, good, good. Where are we on the refuel? We're getting there, actually. Actually, we are there, so we can kick the EPU on. Okay, as soon as we get that APU started, they can board. Let's see where we are. All right, I think we're good to go. So we'll come up here, nav. All right, we got the ProPeats auto air conditioning panel looks good. Gen 1 and 2 fault lights are lit. Yep. External power we can disconnect. And the ventilation system's dark, which means it is perfect. All right, let's go back here to the mechanic page, kick off that. And I'm going to set the radar to also get turbulence. All right. Working on down. Let's get to the McDo's, shall we? All right, so we're good to the 20 to Christmas Eve. And we'll clear init request. While that's doing its thing, I'm going to set the other one up. Perfect. All right, we got our numbers. Okay, let's do our init request. I don't know if we have a chart. Nope, we don't. All right, so we'll have to go on the reference point. All right, whoa. Okay, so I'm going with what's on the airplane, 120.176, we'll call it 0.2. And the zero fuel weight CG we're going with there. Block fuel 19. Oh, I hate when I do that. Sorry, folks. 19.4. Perfect. Okay, so everything looks good here. Now what I'll do is go to flight plan. It's a little out of order if you follow the Toliss concise checklist version 2, but for me it just kind of keeps things moving. Okay, today runway 26, click departure. 26, that is a long one, right? Yep, okay. I had to make sure. And I don't think we have anything departure-wise. No, everything is headed back to South Africa. So we'll insert. All right, we love using charts. It's a great program if you don't have it. Yes, I know it costs. Yes, unfortunate. But it's well worth the subscription fee. Trust me, folks. It really is. Not paid to endorse them. I'm just telling you from my experience, it's that good. Okay, and what I've done here, let me back up the truck here. So we're here. We know we're taking off runway 26. It helps us out. There's the current METAR. Wait a minute. So unfortunately, we can't reference that, but I click what departures. EGMA and UVOR connect with runway 26. However, you can see they're going southward. They won't help us, so we'll hit cancel. And we'll hit that. Now you see the airports. So very simple, put it in plan, and then we just hit the up arrow and just walk through the plan. IBVOB, ticket, oxen. All the while we're watching the nav display for any discontinuities or anything like that. Okay, so now we're looking for Estav, image, Anvig. Ilgo, Algo, Uvamo, and Argoil. Okay, I don't see any discontinuities. Same thing here. We'll hit arrival. And we're going to do the same thing here, except I'm going to kind of zoom it in a little. So we have 0 arrivals, meaning no standard terminal arrival routes. Okay, that's fine. We have 2 approaches. Yikes, is 23 an actual runway we can use? It's the longer of the 2, that is for doggone sure. And what's the other one? 8,000? Well, we'll see where the routing comes in. Let's see, 2 approaches. Oh, they are connecting for 2-3. Okay, we have an ILS Yankee and a Zulu. Let's look at them. All right, Yankee would bring us on an arc around to our arrival. That's pretty good. Zulu is straight in on it. Let's do the Yankee. Looks like the D128, and then we'll do the 12-mile arc for the runway. How's that sound? While we're at it, the airfield, hey, we're back down to sea level for the most part. We're only 230 feet above it, so that's cool. Yeah, let's just hit add to route, and it adds it down on the bottom. However, look what it did. Oh, I bet you this is the new airport. I bet you that's where they want us to actually go. In normal flight, this is a tour we go to the airport the tour says. Yeah, I bet this airfield's closed up or not used the way it was. When I see that, that tells me a lot. Anyway, we'll hit D128, do our thing, bring it in and land. But that's what it, a little bit of what charts helps us with. Let's go ahead, get it on VATSIM. And what it's going to show, if I zoom out enough, traffic and centers and stuff. So, I mean, really a good tool. I highly recommend it. All right, so we are going with the Yankee for 23. We said hang on. Transition, see, it even helps you over here. Transition D128 November. No star, no transitions. Now you could click insert. So we get to our goal. Let's get back up here. We're going to go direct. I don't know if we can clear that. Let's try clearing it. Nope. Why can't we clear it? Huh. Well, we're going to go to D128, so we'll go direct when we get close. And then intercept the 12-mile arc, fly it around. All looking good. And then out to our hold at VBD, and then return in as they tell us. All right, now, if for some reason we got to go to our alternate, that is the routing other than departures and arrivals. But we're going to FNCT. Paulo Teixeira Gorge Airport in Umbela, Angola. And yeah, I know I probably botched. And that's all we do, folks. It's pretty simple. The route's in. You've seen it. That's our departure, arrival, well, sort of an arrival. We can't clear that one either. All right, now we'll click RadNav. And by the way, most checklists would now have you check your weights. Why? Because you've put the route in and all the mileage and all is in there too. Okay, we're all set up if we have to come back. Okay, we're good. All right, let's head over here. Now, the cool thing is this should really be working off the current weather in the sim. Okay, so remember, I told you we're about 12 hours back in time, especially on the weather. So we have to take that into account. All right, we don't need to worry about any ice. However, we will be nice, keep the air conditioning on. That looks good. Oh, let me check. Oh, I don't have anything. That's gonna have to do. Let's do an uplink. Okay, whoa. Now, you're seeing when you roll the clock back and you take the weather at that time, what could hit you? Look at the wind. Okay. That wind is 133. That favors runway 08 more than 26. And if you didn't believe me, look right here. The windsock technically is kind of showing that. It is still, because, man, 130 would be... Okay, pretty much. Okay, well, never mind what I just said. Disregard me. Disregard that guy in the right seat. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Now, don't worry about flex at all here. But if, for instance, we chose flaps 2 for takeoff, I'll put that in. But don't worry about flex right now. Just click, takeoff data request, wait for it, or many just go and continue to plod. I wait. It doesn't take long. See? Now click received. Okay, what you just received starts with toga. Takeoff, go around for your aircraft. Now is when you click flex, and that should match pretty close to what you got here. And by the way, it does. It's off by a knot. I think I can live with that. We're flexing, and that's why. This 66, this was 65. This could be actually working off current. But doesn't matter. We'll go and insert. And I am going to set V1 at 140. I just like it a little better. It gives me just a couple extra feet. in case we have to reject right at V1. Rotate, and then your climb out speed on one engine at 145. All looks good. We're ready to go if you are. Hey, Pratt PT6, welcome aboard. Thanks for the applause. We sure appreciate you. And the same level of animation is pretty good here as well. You'll see those level feet rise up. All right, last thing to do here. Let's put this back in arc. Come in here to the middle. We'll go LS. That is in case we come back. I'm not planning on it. And we said what altitude today? 38. Okay. Okay, all set there. VOR, 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 VOR. And I think doors are closed. All right, landing gear 3 green. No need for the brake fans. We'll get the auto brake in a moment. Landing gear lever down. Switches are 12 o'clock high. And we're ready to commence. Welcome in. I hope y'all have had a great weekend, and glad to have you here. All right, just for those tuning in, game plan out. Ooh, wait a minute. Let me click that and that. Game plan out of Namibia. Pull straight ahead, taxiway Bravo. We'll take Delta down to Echo, then back taxi the runway to Foxtrot. And then we'll make sure everything's ready to go before we go. And just so those of you tuning in can see it. Also, those just tuned in, we are running at about 12 hours earlier so we can fly in the daylight, so it's easier to see the aircraft. The weather is also set back 12 hours, so things could be interesting. Let's just put it that way. We kind of saw it here in the onset of flight planning. The winds are 133 at like 10 here, yet it's currently 240. So you can see that disparity. Now you hit that just right, you would not want to land on 26, the right. So just some things to be cautionary of. If you're on VATSIM as we are, I'd be very careful, especially if you're up in Europe this time of the day. Over in the US, it's starting to hop, especially on a Sunday. During the week, you may or may not, but you could run into some big issues. So be ready for that. Let's get after it. After we get ACARS started. Ooh, I'm glad I looked and didn't see it. All right, we got our flight in, and we're showing up on the map. Okay, let's crank them up. We don't have to push back here, folks. Okay, engine mode. All right, we're just waiting for the word available. Oh, it got me again. All right, we got number 2 firing up, or number 1, my bad. I got it backwards. Okay, generator just snapped in. Okay, we're up and running. Get a 3 minutes go here. APU bleed off. Tell them to kick the chocks out. All right, spoilers arm, flaps 1. Okay. Come up here, we'll take care of the pitch trim next. All right, we need it to read up 03. Okay, while we're here, okay, we're all set, ready to go. I don't know about you, timer on. All right, EPU's shutting down, landing lights. Okay, we're ready to go. All right, instead of backtaxing the entire length of the runway, for the most part, we're just gonna head on down and see what we can see. But I'm glad to have you all aboard. Welcome into Flying with Mike. see how far we got to go. This is a tower shot. By the way, we're using ABC camera. Oh, sorry about that. It's really actually pretty good. We just don't have any traffic in the area right now. Or I could show off maybe taking a look at it. Last time we had something in an area, it was dark. So, yeah, maybe as we get closer to Luanda, we'll be fine. So, but yeah, it's a pretty good camera system. That's what you keep seeing at the bottom of the screen. Kind of a status bar, and I kind of like, there's some things that are kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to put into words, and I can't ever figure out what bugs me sometimes about new software, but oh, you haven't seen it? Okay. Hey, Hawker, welcome aboard. Yeah, it just comes on, goes off. I kind of like the way you all see it. Well, if that's on my OBS, if that's how y'all see it. And hope you're having a very Merry Christmas. All right, one last check that nothing's gonna get snapped. Okay, when I yank and bank. There we go. Oh, I'm writing drum parts for a friend. Cool. Good deal. How's the Hawker project coming along? I noticed no phone calls to come and pull wire. Nope. All right, so we're getting to the end of the runway here. Let's get some radars on. Okay, and we can turn this timer for now off. Cabin's ready. We're not. We got a long way to go still. All right, let's get back into cockpit here, and I'll actually, yeah, there's the savannas of Namibia. Let me take a look at something here real quick. Namibia traffic, Springbok 1572 departing runway 26. And away we go. $100. V1, rotate. And the gear can come up. And let's go autopilot. Flaps coming up. And let's get our spoilers reset, and we're in climb. All right, we're on our way, folks. We have. Let's go ahead, get that up on the top there. Looks like currently about 2 hours, 45 minutes to go. We'll see how that gets as we get to altitude. But we're glad to have you aboard. We are traveling from Namibia to Angola, Luanda to be exact. And it looks like maybe the older airport in Luanda. Not there's a new one that looks like it's there. So we'll see as we probably will on the way to it. So, but it's great to have y'all aboard. Thanks for coming in. And I hope you enjoy this lovely, well, we're already down to almost 2.5 hours. So you can see the time is just moving along. Unfortunately for us, the weather is clear here. However, up in Angola, let me check something out here before I turn it on. What the heck is going on in South Africa? Hang on, I gotta look at something. Hang on. Wow. Okay, South Africa Center's online, but, well, you'll see what I'm about to say here in a second. All right, here's VATSIM radar. This is what I was like, what the? It's like all of the approaches are up. However, if you go to VATSPY, it's actually the center. It's kind of weird. I've never seen it like this. So, kind of interesting. Who knows? But we're headed up from FYWH to Angola, and I think, where are we up here? Right there. So you could see we possibly could get a little, but again, with the weather set back with the clock 12 hours, this may or may not affect us. So we'll see as we get closer. But we're flying a tour that's called the African Union Airbus Tour. This is part 2 of 3 that they have at Millennium for us to fly. And I'm actually on the leg 6 of it. Must have just been a town. Thought I saw an airport in there. All right, we're through 20,000, so I'm going to go ahead, kick off the wing light. As we continue on up the flight level 380. Okay. Let's see here. We're about top climb. Right, there's 38,000. Ah, now it's covered in with the center. Okay. All right, we're continuing. We're level at flight level 380. Looking at about an hour and 40 minutes now. We've gained a lot of time and a lot of speed at altitude. So we'll see how that holds into there. Would love to say it holds, but I still think 5:30 Central Time arrival is what we're probably looking at. Terrain wise, we're not looking too bad, although at 38,000, pretty much even Everest we won't hit, I don't think. Oh, but it would look beautiful though. It would look like you could almost reach out and touch it. I remember going from Chicago to Anchorage. Even though I didn't get to see much, you could, through other windows, I kind of got a little bit of what I was wanting to see, and those mountain peaks really seemed awful close to us on that Alaskan Air flight. So, yeah, it would be fun to see that. Again, Toliss just does a great job on their aircraft. Just love looking at them. I know some will say, well, they don't have this and that, and the little signs and all don't change. Oh my God, it's a flight sim aircraft. Do you see people even in the chairs? I mean, it's sometimes what people complain about really worries me, that you forget the fact that it's a flight sim. But it is, to each their own. I guess they, got to have it 100% dead on, or it's not an airplane worthy of flying. So to me, hey, this thing is just flat out awesome what it does. And I can get over toilet doors not opening. Yeah, sorry, folks. So we will continue. We have the Toliss A320 Neo in the sky as we are about 80-ish miles out of Image intersection, headed to Luanda International in Angola. Now, this looks like to be the older airport. There seems to be a newer one, not about 20-30 miles away. So that could be where they actually fly into now. But because the tour goes where we're going, that's why we hit the other airport. So as we fly over the savannas of Africa. So hope you enjoy the trip. We've got about an hour and a half or so to go. So just kind of kick back, relax, and enjoy the music as we fly on to Angola. All right, folks, I'm back. Sorry about that. Wife got me hooked into a show the last 10, 20 minutes or so, maybe less. That's a pretty good show. So, I have to watch the whole movie. But anyway, we're on our way. It looks like, what do we got here? PT Pratt? Oh, that's 2 days ago. Okay. For a second, I thought we had 200 bits given while I was out. But still appreciated 2 days ago. So thank you, PT Pratt. Or Pratt PT6. Bleh, let me get it out right. But thank you for being with us. All right, this week's schedule will be released here shortly, tomorrow. Yes, we are flying tomorrow. Hang on. Oh, I haven't even posted it myself. But what I have planned for tomorrow is a flight out of Miami to Roberts, is it? I believe it is in, hang on, I'm going to double check. Get it right, because boy, I know some people that always love when I come down there. So giving y'all plenty of heads up, plus I'll get it put. The Liberia, Costa Rica, Mike Romeo Lima Bravo. So I hope you all are ready for us. We'll be in there, takeoff time. Well, stream starts at or around 1700 Zulu. So you can do the calculations for yourself. If you live in the U.S. in the central time zone, hey, it's real easy. That's 11 a.m. So, but that's going to be probably our only flight tomorrow, but you never know. There could be time for another one. Friday, we're bringing the Queen of the Skies back into action. Paris, France to JFK. So hope you all enjoy that one on Friday. That's going to be a rather long stream at least 8 hours for the flight. So you can figure, time after and before. So yeah, that'll be fun. And there probably won't be a second flight after that. This kid will be ready for bed. But other than that, that's what we got planned. And for the Tuesday, Thursday flights, those will be what we come up with if we have time. Oh, Friday, I'm okay. I just thought, oh my. Now, after that, things will get a little tough to schedule. So we'll get flights in as we can because it'll be the Christmas week. So we'll play it by ear what we can and cannot get into the air. So, but that is ironed out. We will be flying. I just thought for a second something hit me and I'm like, oh wait, I can't, but yes, I can. So, may 60 years old be better to you than it memory-wise has been for me. So I'm going to be right back. I got to take some headache medicine. Stand by. Again, sorry about that, folks. Oh, my headache is really... I hate when storm systems like this come through. So the pressure changes are just rough on me and a lot of other people. Anyway, welcome aboard. We're flying from Namibia to Angola in Africa on the African Union Airbus Tour Part 2 for Millennium Aviation Company, otherwise known as Mac Air. We're on leg 6, as mentioned, from Namibia to Luanda in Angola, and we got about an hour and 10 minutes or so to go, but I'm glad to have you all aboard, flying the Airbus 320 Neo new engine option. So this is the more supposedly fuel efficient engines. It's always hard to see that when they look like, you know, well, they look bigger. Usually bigger means more fuel, more gas. So I hope the weekend went well, went safe, and y'all are warm for those that have endured the media naming the polar vortex, because they just can't say an Arctic blast anymore. But anyway, and I hope those of you in Ohio, wow, 4 to 6 inches, holy mackerel. And who knows what we're going to pile up in the Northeast, because, again, they can't just call it an Alberta clipper. No, we got to call it now a nor'easter, even though it doesn't meet half the criterias. So, welcome to what the media can do and shouldn't do, but still does. Oh, and for the meteorologists that tag along with them. So, but anyway, we are on the other side of the world, thank goodness, and we're where it's warmer. Southern hemisphere. Be interesting, wouldn't it? Christmas. You know, I love watching shows in Australia, Christmas shows, because they're in the beach, going into the ocean. Our 4th of July here in the U.S. would be winter there. What a different thought. Some might even say more true than what and how we celebrate, because back in those days, things were a lot cooler back then. Little ice age, some say we were coming out of. So kind of little trickery. So but we are on our way, and we're just kind of sitting back, relaxing, enjoying the flight so far. Unfortunately, with no traffic in the area, we can't really show that portion of ABC camera. But one thing you can do is, if we do, click right here, and that'll bring up the tracking menu. And what that means is any aircraft, I forget the mileage I was told, will pop up further than your normal TCAS. and you can actually see it and see what they're doing. Yeah. Are they behaving or misbehaving? So, but anyway, yeah, with where we're at in the world, yeah, you're not gonna see that. So, but we'll just continue on for now. And I'm taking some screenshots so we have for other flights. Um, we're beginning in this tour that started, if I remember right, Johannesburg, worked his way a couple of weird ways, and now we're starting to work up the west coast of Africa. It's kind of fun. We kind of will zigzag through the country or the continent, and it's a fun tour. So check it out. You know, hey, it's one of, good Lord, I'm gonna say hundreds, hopefully I'm not over exaggerating, of tours that are set up at Mac Air for a variety of aircraft, from general aviation on up to Airbus, Boeings, you name it, they probably got something for you. And they're fun to fly because it you know, who'd have thought flying around Africa? I mean, I had a virtual airline several years ago, and one of our hubs was Lagos in Nigeria. And out of it, I flew humanitarian aid in King Airs and caravans. Um, and it was kind of fun. I actually did a little scenery to help out with that, but that was that FSX? I think it was. So, but it was all geared for fun, but none of the pilots with the V8 ever ventured here. It's like, you know, it's kind of like Star Trek, the undiscovered country. We don't fly there. Well, it's actually kind of fun over here, especially when you're in South Africa. Yeah, there's always going to be controllers, hit or miss anywhere else in the continent, but you know, it is just, I enjoy flying here. Everything is almost like a high altitude airport. It's like it just rises up to 5,000 feet, and we start there. It just, one of my bucket lists, I'd like to get into Africa, see a couple parts of it, like Nairobi and Lagos, Johannesburg or Cape Town, and then maybe up towards Ethiopia and Cairo and stuff, and maybe west, who knows. It's just a lot to it that's interesting. So, and if you're like the log hours on VATSIM without VATSIM controllers, well, you've got a pretty good place for that. So, let's take a look right now, speaking thereof. And I hit the wrong button, but it's a good button nonetheless. Great question, Joshua in the Old Testament posed to the Israelites as they were about to enter the Promised Land. Really good question there for you. One you ought to seriously meditate on. Now, fear the Lord, serve Him with all faithfulness. Here's something a lot of people, you know, they don't like when I put verses up, but this one has this little comment. But if serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourself this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. So, great verses, Joshua 24, and then verses 14 and 15. So, think long and hard, folks. Is serving the Lord desirable or not desirable to you? Today's today. You never know what tomorrow will bring. To choose for yourself. So, what I did mean to do is this one. We got one aircraft, it looks like, out there. Oh, two. Way out. Don't see. Let's find out. Nope. Nothing in range. I try to remember to do these things. When I do, it's usually like Tuesday or Thursday night, and I'm flying at night. And, you know, it's just, you can't see them. So I don't try it out. But yeah, Africa can really, I mean, I've flown into some mean storms here. It was kind of fun to watch it on the radar just grow and grow and grow. Not because we were getting closer, because you could see a well-defined storm. It just got bigger and bigger. It was kind of fun. And yeah, it meant to go around. But we got around the next time, and we had a controller, believe it or not. So it was kind of, like I said, fun area of the world, kind of uncharted by pilots. A lot of great little, or not little, some of these airports are pretty big, so check them out. I wanted to check something here. All right, well, I'm just going to let y'all enjoy the music. We've, as you can tell, have added some songs. And the big thing is they just have to be not copywritten. There's a lot out there I would love to use, but they're copywritten, and I'm not into copyright strikes. So, and rightly so. Oh, look at Hawker in with the emotes. Oh, going nuts again for emotes. But anyway, we will give it about another hour. We'll be into Luanda. Wait. Yeah, Luanda International. Am I pronouncing it even close? In Angola. Actually, I probably could say here in Angola. Because we are in the country. Oh, cough came out of nowhere. Sorry, folks. But Hawker is hyping it up. Come on, Hawker, get your plane on. One day. Oh boy. tell you one thing, it may only be single-digit temperatures out here in St. Louis, but with that sun beating in on a window, holy mackerel, it gets warm quick. I'm going to be right back. My granddaughter just got here, so stand by. Be right back. Okay, folks, I'm back. Had to say hello to the first officer, the granddaughter that lives right up the street from us. But yeah, Hawker, you need to get back in the sky. Okay, now the weather I just put up for our arrival airport, that is current. 12 hours ago, obviously, will be different. And we are about 50 minutes out. So, something's kind of curious. Well, let's see. Bear with me a second. I'm testing something out. McDo, Atsu, AOC, weather. That's what I was wondering. Okay, wait a minute. 21Z. No, that is 12 hours ago. So no, that is not the weather for us. The weather for us will have to pull off the map. And by that I mean this map. But currently, we can see some cells showing up out here. But yeah, it would be this map that we'd have to refer to get our current weather. Although, let's try one other thing. 09Z. So right now, here's the current weather for our arrival. Variable winds, 3 knots. And we actually have a broken layer at 8,000. So we'll see how that plays out. And right now we're not going to fill this in. We'll get a little closer. But so yeah, we will get, this is what we will be working off of number-wise. But just know you can't do the METAR checks or stuff like that when you roll the clock back. That's why I gave that caveat at the beginning. If you're gonna fly on VATSIM, be leery of using, rolling the weather back to and VATSIM, because VATSIM's gonna be right now. And if your weather is 12 hours old, it could be a whole 180-degree different wind blowing really bad, and good luck on that tailwind. So Oh, I forgot the clock is also right here. Doggone it. I always forget about that one. But thank you for joining us on this Sunday, third week in Advent, and we're all looking forward to Christmas Day when the birth of Jesus. Now, the cool thing, and something I didn't know for a lot of years, Jesus, while by name wasn't in the Bible up until Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. However, he was in the Bible since God created the earth, created the universe. He was there. John tells us that in chapter 1 of his gospel. And you can find him all woven through the Old Testaments, from Abraham, through Abraham's, through Joshua, and all the judges, and into the life of David. Just, it's amazing to find him. And then, of course, with all the prophets. So, yes, while he was with us, he became human, and as a baby, to help show us how to live righteously, how to, abide by a law that just kept expanding and expanding, hurting more and more people. And he also came knowing he would die. So it's a shame most of us also don't know that we came into this world also, eventually, we too will die. So, but Jesus knew that, left heaven, left his princely post in heaven with God to come down to us mere mortals, and not only as a mere mortal, but a baby. Not some soldier like people thought, some mighty conquering king. Oh, he's a king, all right, but he's not the kind that comes calling to conquer. He comes for us in his kingdom. So anyway, I hope you've all had a great Sunday. Some great news there. And so, have you got your Christmas plans pretty well etched out? Or as they would say in ancient time, etched in stone? Or are you still like, it's not December 24th yet, I go shopping then? Good luck. We kind of fell behind the eight ball this year, and that's because, much needed trip out east to see my folks for Thanksgiving kind of put the whole getting Christmas all lined up, ready to go here, but we're getting there. I think we've got it pretty well ironed out, and it's going to be a fun Christmas. So but I hope you, the grandkids will have a great time. Our kids, our grown kids will have an absolute great time, as will we. And I hope you all, that's my big wish for you all, that you may call it another day, but I really hope you take the time and enjoy Christmas. It's, you know, probably one of the greatest times of the year. It just seems a little easier. When you look back in history at Christmas, you know, wars have taken a pause for Christmas. And it's just an amazing season. Um, so I hope you take some time and enjoy in some way, some fashion. All right, sorry about that. I had to open a window in here. Now that the grandkid's here, I've got to be careful, and that way she gets a little more corralled out there. So may have to open it a little more. But boy, I'm going to tell you right now, about a half hour ago, I had to actually cover the windows here with the curtains. That sun was just warm as could be. Wow, why can't we have that outside? Man. Yeah, I am going to have to open a little more. Pause 1 second. All right, let's see if that helps. Oh, yeah, it is. No, it isn't. It just went up. Oh, well, we're not opening it all the way. But it's the same sun today we're going to have for the next week. And boy, the temperatures tomorrow, what a bounce. We're in the teens, I think, out there right now. Tomorrow, we're like in the 40s. Ooh, no wonder I've got such a whopper of a headache. All right, we're 38 minutes out, And I think let's go ahead, see if this will work. All right, so far so good. We're about 38 minutes out, so we're going to go ahead, start prepping the plane up here. Ooh, okay, that I didn't plan on. All right, so all right, 30 looks good. That looks good. Any ice not needed. Let me take a look at our landing airport. I think we're gonna set for sure medium. Oh yeah. That'll make our turnaround point and get us back. Okay. So we're gonna come in at approach speed 130. Planning 4,500 foot to 4,800 foot use of the runway, and should go as planned. We'll kind of check back later on. I'll be right back. I hear a kid crying. Make sure she's okay or if she's playing. Stand by. Oop. All right, I'm back. They are trying to wean her from the pacifiers, and she's a little upset about that. Oh. All right, so we have 27 minutes. And distance, whoops, I meant to go here, about 103 miles. So what we'll do is go ahead. Now we're staying with that, so why does it do that? It takes... Okay, we'll leave it between low or medium. All right, so let's go next phase, 10, 11. We need a temperature of 30. I don't know. It'll most likely, usually it'll change it. Oh, got it right this time. And the ILS, real quick, requires 250 or higher. Okay, so we're set up here. We're showing an approach of 130, so is that landing speed 125? We'll check back in as we get closer. Okay. But again, thanks for flying with us today. If you're on YouTube, we'd love you to hit that subscribe button if you like what you're seeing, want to be a part of the family here at Flying with Mike. Our goal is 1,000. We'd like to make it by the end of the year, but we're going to probably fall short. But hey, let's shoot for it. I'm willing to shoot for 1,000 by the end of the year. And we'd love to see a thumbs up. Hey, let us know you're watching and what you think. And of course, if you see anything I'm doing that needs to be changed, trust me, you're not going to hurt this guy. I flew Pipers and Cessnas. A little bit more complex, just a tad. Even though I flew a complex airplane called an Arrow, a little bit more complex than that. So, anyway, just a little. But if you're on Twitch, we'd love you to hit follow. What it does is gives you a free email notification when we go live. So we'd love for you to hit follow if you're new to us. On the YouTube side of the house, subscribing is also free. Even if we ever monetize the channel, which I'm not sure I will, but that's a free option. We'd have other options if you wanted to support the channel monetarily. You can always use bits and donations, but um, we leave that in your hands. So for now, we're just cruising along. We got about 25 minutes and give it a little longer than that, but we got to come down and get into Luanda. So, but thanks for being a part of Flying with Mike. We sure appreciate you. As we're heading up the Angola coast, we actually haven't been alongside the either the Indian Ocean or the Atlantic for quite some time, so it's kind of nice to see it. And as you can tell, the weather that comes with it. Let's get back in the cockpit, see if any of that's translating to the radar. Nope. Let's push out a little. Top of descent starting to show up. Numbers are in. $50 miles out. All right, so hey, put a prediction in if you're into that. Mine or exclamation mark the word predict, space, and a negative number. Trust me, you need that space. For some reason, I haven't been doing it here lately, and thinking I'm having troubles with my sim toolkit, and lo and behold, it was all me. So and by the way, I've heard this a few days ago and actually tracked it down. Fun fact, why the doldrums are the doldrums and why things kind of come to a standstill weather-wise there. Thinking long and hard about it, a low pressure center getting down cannot cross the equator because of that thing called the Coriolis. Is it the Coriolis, I think it's called? Yeah, you can't, it won't push past because winds spin differently on the south side of the equator than the north, vice versa. Didn't know that, just heard that a few weeks ago and been meaning to pass it along. And things get going, things change ever so rapidly here, and I thought I'd mention it today. Well, it looks like pretty much we got a clear shot. Oh, I am kind of curious now. How the heck am I going to do that? Yeah, just like that. I must have clicked something and didn't get clear or something in pre-flight. Doggone it. That was too easy. Oh, I still will keep saying it. I'm hoping to be able to use this more and more, but unfortunately right now, it's odd. The US, they don't want to touch it. And I know why on VATSIM. Europe, on the other hand, uses it, but not to the level I thought they would. So hopefully as X-Plane 12 4.0 comes out, there may be some things coming with that, with those updates. So, let alone the new airport, which that's on our list to check out as well. See what it looks like now versus what it will look like then. I think I know the perfect flight to fly it on. However, I think distance-wise may not work out. We'll see. You never know. All right, let's get set up for descent. All right, landing elevation shows auto right there. Arrivals are in. We'll get the winds here real quick. Okay. And back to F plan. Up, hang on, clear. Thank you. And we're going to set 7,000. I think. Let me double check. Yeah, we'll start at 7, come down to 3. All right, let's start it on down. All right, and we're doing good on the airspeed as we gently lower the aircraft down. All right, let's see. What else do we need to do? All right, real quick, let's take a look at our arrival into here. I know some of you love to see the charts, especially these JEP charts. All right, so let me just do that. Okay, so Luanda, Angola, we're on the Yankee ILS approach for 2-3. Now, there's no CTAF rules in play here, so we don't have to worry about that. If they were, this is what you'd look for, the tower frequency, which would have been 118.1. However, today, the ILS frequency is 110.3, final approach 229 at the decimal 8.7 on the ILS. We need to be at 3,000 feet, and I got a feeling on the glide slope. Decision altitudes today, 483 on the altimeter, 250 on the radar altimeter. Difference, altimeter is height above sea level, radar height above ground. So METARs are in height above ground. So when you get a cloud level, that's above the ground. So in this case, we got to have a METAR broken or overcast higher than 250 feet. Oh wait, METARs don't report that way. They will be in hundreds of feet. So we'll round up. They got to be higher than 300, which we are. It's 8,000 right now. We'll get to the rest of the minimums in a second as we cross Agol. Airfield is at 238 feet, runway 233 feet above sea level, or above sea level. There's our missed approach. And basically it's out to the starting point for another 12-mile arc from the north around at 6,000 feet. Okay. Luanda VOR 112.7 is not tuned in. Oh yeah, it is. We're 78 miles out. Again, a chart that I wish was on most US charts is the glide slope out chart. Oh, hang on, I want to kill that. Sorry, I always forget. I do have, oh, charts didn't come up. Dang it, sorry about that, folks. So real quick recap, there you see the top, the briefing strip with the tower, ILS final approach, where we need to be at the final approach or at the initial fix, the minimums, and your altitude missed approach. This is where I was saying I wish most charts had, if your glide slopes out, gives you an idea altitude-wise where to be at each of these increments. I really like that. Then you have your vertical, and then you have your ground speed. So if we're planning 130, we're talking about 700-ish feet a minute, 3 minutes, 51 seconds from 8.7 miles out. Ish. And here are the minimums. 250 above the ground, 483, we talked about that. Visibility with everything working properly, 800 meters. Approach light system out, it goes up to 1,300 meters. Makes sense. We use those lights to get us in closer. Speaking of lights, we have high approach light systems, PAPIs both sides, and then there's our missed approach. Once on the ground, we're coming in 2-3. We're hoping to make this turnaround and then come back echo to the terminal. trying to figure out how we... All right, so there you have it, folks, the approach briefing. Sorry, I was looking at a couple of things there you saw, trying to figure out how we're going to park. So we'll figure that out once we get there. All right, we're 44 miles out of D128, which is 14 miles from the airport, but we got to go around the arc to get in. So, yeah, we'll take our time. All right. Ooh, looks like we do have some thunderstorms trying to show up. Let's take a look at the map real quick. Not really. All right, they're calling right now, broken at 8,200, broken at 29,000, 30 degrees, 10, 11, and the winds are still calm. Cool. And now you can see where we are. There should be someone. No, he's not in range yet. Oh, and I stand corrected. 8.7 is the final approach fix. My bad. Misread my own chart. All right, let's get LS on here. Constraints. LS constraints. Medium. Make sure we got everything. Okay, RadNav, check it. Okay, we got it. And we'll start slowing the bird down. All right. All right, is there any restrictions in the arc besides? All right, we'll keep it. Okay, here we go. We're about to start the approach. I'm going to drop us to 20. Okay, speed brakes been used. Okay, we're going to bring it down to 230. All right, now back to the east and start into the arc. All right, I'm going to actually set 210. Flaps 1. All right, we're now full managed. Okay. All right, Luanda traffic, Springbok 1572 on the 14-mile DME arc for 2-3, about to turn inbound. Okay. Okay, I don't see anything as of yet. Got it. Okay, runway's right here.
CC79 at the go down.
Yeah, welcome aboard. Runway in sight. And Luanda traffic, Springbok 1572, approximately 5-mile final 2-3. Well, for a calm wind, it's all of a sudden now 073, complete tailwind at 5. Okay, we're 1,100 feet above the ground. Luanda traffic, Springbok 1572, 3-mile final, 23. Okay, we're stable. We'll be landing.
100 above. 300. Minimum.
Landing.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
And we'll take the turnaround. Nobody else talking, so we're back taxing. And Luanda traffic, Springbok 1572, back taxiing runway 23 to exit at Echo. And Luanda traffic, Springbok 1572's off 23, headed to the terminal. Have a good night. Okay. That was pretty good. I didn't check what the landing rate was, so we'll see that when we get into the gate, wherever that might end up being. All right, back taxiing runway 25. So I hope you enjoyed the flight. It was enjoyable to say the least. We had a great time. Got going pretty quick in less than 40 minutes out of Namibia, and we're just eventually going to get in here. It just takes a little time. We'll probably park on the other side of Southwest. Wouldn't you know, Southwest. Somehow I don't think they'd be here. Think I'll just park in between. I knew I'd forget about the EPU. Knew it, knew it, knew it. Yeah, 2.5 hour flight. Not bad. Brake fan's good. We'll leave it on for a little longer. Up top here to fuel pumps. And standby McDo's brake fan. We'll take a look. Don't mind. I'm going to go ahead get chocks in. There you have it, folks, on the ground here in Luanda. Welcome. Thank you for flying with me today. Sure appreciate it. And I hope we did a good job. Oh, why is he oh, because of the, okay. But yeah, I'm shocked the amount of aircraft they've plotted on here. Wow. All right, with that, let's see what the airline got us at. And we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. 235 feet a minute. We can go with that. But let's see what the trackers actually got. Elevatech first. All right. So here's the flight. Let's complete it. All right, they got us at 246 feet per minute. A little fast. That's okay. 132 and 1.32 Gs. What I'm always curious, which bunny hop did they record? So it looks like 500, 1,000, 15, right around 2,000 feet a minute on the center line. And to me, that's a great landing. Yeah, the numbers are a little on the rougher side, 1.3 Gs, but you know, it's a good landing. We're going to walk off this plane, and that means it's always a good landing. Now, to the unofficial scorekeeper for flying with Mike, Sim Toolkit. Again, let's complete it. All right. Oh, I'm liking that number. Okay. View the details. All right, so we flew 2.5 hours, 854 miles, 4,300 kilograms of go-go juice. Now, they recorded us at 1.6, almost 7 Gs, 284 feet per minute. You know, on the surface, that looks rough, but out the feet per minute, these two never seem to make sense to me. And then 131 knots. So again, about 6 knots too fast. Now, this is the part I like. Runway 23. We were 1,900 feet down the runway, 12 feet off the center line. Boom. I love it. Great flight. Great landing indeed. Anyone besides myself? Does not appear so. Wow, but I was close. 210, I guessed, and it was 284. Wow, not bad. Not bad at all. What a great day of flying. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up, folks. I hope you enjoyed the Sunday afternoon flight in Africa from Namibia up here to Angola, Luanda to be exact. And what a fun landing place. Next up in this tour, you know, I didn't even think to look ahead. Let's find out. Dun, 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 dun. All right, the next trip is to an airport called Fox Oscar Lima, Libreville International Airport, about 630 miles north of us. What town is that? Ah, Gabon. Libreville, Gabon. Gabon. That ought to be a fun flight when we get that all scheduled up. But for now, folks, thank you. Thank you so much again. If you haven't done so already here on Twitch and you're new to the channel, hit that follow button. If you're new to us on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Both actions are free, and just will let you know on Twitch when a new video has been released. I'm sorry, correction. Let me stand corrected there. When we go live next time, tomorrow, by the way, will be it. We're going to be flying out of Miami to Guatemala. So hope you enjoy. On YouTube, it lets you know when the next video's out. But for now, thanks Pratt PT6 for joining us with a few sound alerts. Hawker 125 popped in, may still be here. Y'all have a fantastic, blessed night. We'll see you tomorrow, 1700 Zulu or thereabouts, for a flight to Guatemala. God bless.